Yeah, so I was reviewing this a little bit. And it sounds like it sounds like I have an iron fucking lung, dude. Yo, this is just a heads up. It's like one of the first times doing one of these things in a while. I apologize if I say anything that I shouldn't say. If you think I say something that, or you disagree with something, or if you want to add any, if there's something that you feel like, this is something I like about, say the Beatles or whatever the fuck, or anything that, went off tangent on or whatever the fuck, any feedback, I guess, would be appreciated. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck. In some regards, I do give a fuck. If I hurt your feelings, I'm really sorry. Today is, July 3rd, 2022. It's, I just want to say it again, 2022, because I feel like I didn't say that correctly or properly. Sorry for all the noises on the outside. It's good to be imperfect. Fuck perfectionism. It's the only thing that's gonna keep you or anyone down. Well, there's actually plenty of things that can keep somebody down, but perfectionism is definitely one of those things. All right. So it's been a while since I've done something like this. It's been a couple of years. There's many reasons to do it, many reasons not to do it. So I'm just gonna try to keep it as minimal as possible. Every time I try to get off tangent, I'm gonna probably stop or pause it just so I can keep myself on track. I'm just trying to. One thing I recently have been figuring out in the last week, in fact, is like just certain addictions, and it's not it doesn't have to do with like drugs or whatever. I mean, it could. One thing I realized is I spend a lot of time listening to music when I could be doing many other things other than just listening to music. But there's a power to listening to music. I mean, in my opinion, I think it's no different than reading a book, but that's just me. So today's topic is admiring. I was gonna say inspiring, but they are inspiring. Admiring the Beatles. There's definitely plenty of people I'd love to admire and just kind of shoot the shit with. I don't have anything open available to me right now. I have no information. It's just off the cusp and all that. Sorry, I got shit in my fucking mouth. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so, one reason why I wanted to, do this in the first place, besides obviously cut myself off tangent, was one of the more interesting things about the Beatles were how not necessarily experimental they were, but how much they could change. They started garage rock, kind of just what a lot of other bands were doing was just pretty much, in the UK, at least as far as I saw anyway, it's just pretty much copying what the US has been doing the last 10 years. I'll just put it to bed real quick. Black people invented modern music, and it all started with blues, specifically in the US, just because of slavery. I'm not saying that. See, and the interesting thing, I was going to go off tangent, but I think this is kind of correlating with the whole thing, but it's not necessarily interesting. I don't know. That was maybe not a good word. I was kind of losing myself here. Shit. Say, UK, US, these big, the places that get big are obviously the biggest cities, but it's not like there isn't like slavery happening in other places other than like the US or whatever. And it's not like it's not still happening right now. So, yeah, just, I've probably read this before somewhere or something like that, but it's just like, essentially it's like, for black people with blues music, it was like, you might, I guess physically in a way own me, but you don't own me. You don't actually own my soul. You don't, And if all they have is their voice, then, by all means, fucking use it, but let's try to keep back on topic with the Beatles. It's hard to, in context of everything. Obviously they're, a very talented group, but at the same time, though, obviously, it just, I don't know. I feel like a dickhead even just like kind of mentioning stuff. Let's just, I don't want to, let's not bring politics into this. You know what I mean? And, there's plenty of other bands. I mean, like in my eyes, I don't necessarily see the Beatles any higher necessarily than any other band. I mean, I guess if you want to be like, who's your favorite bands, your top 10 bands or something like that, I can, I'll fucking name it off or whatever the fuck and shoot the shit. But by the end of the day, I really do see like a band like the Beatles being equal to, any, band starting out or whatever. I mean, it is the passion, I think, but beyond the passion, it's an art to it. I just feel like I'm babbling right now, but, say for example, let's just continue with the Beatles. The reason why, in my opinion, the Beatles broke up is because of the business side of it. If anything, the people had, the people above, didn't like kind of like, come on, we got to put out the next best thing. And it's not like, I'm sure it's not just, I'm sure every member wanted, you always want to put out your best. What the fuck? It's not like, well, I put out my best last time. This time, I can just, some people, I'm sure that's how it is. It's like, I put out the best and I'm just going to shoot the shit this time. Okay. Just trying to catch myself here without going too far. I'm just trying to catch myself here. So, the business side of it. Let me go a little off tangent, but in terms of the Beatles, there's 4 members, and there were technically other members, and other people, big unofficial or official, whatever members, whatever, fifth member, whatever. So Ringo, he was just a drummer. All 4 of the members were all different in their own ways. The other 3 members were allowed to like mess around with almost, even they weren't allowed to mess around with the drums, but like they just needed a drummer, and Ringo had no problem filling in that gap and like doing a really good job. By the end of the day, Octopus's Garden, one of my favorite songs of all time. It's fucking phenomenal. I love that song. So, and that's why it's just like, once again, like, you can pick and choose who your favorite Beatle is, whatever. When I was younger, I preferred George Harrison I preferred him the most, or out of the bunch or whatever. I don't know what the fuck I was going to say there, but you get what I mean, I hope. But the reason why is because when I first started like listening to their music, the most different stuff was coming from George's side of George's compositions, in my opinion anyway. But I'm jumping all over the fucking place. So Ringo, he's just that phenomenal solid drummer. It's not like he didn't mess around with other instruments, but he was just always the go-to drummer. And a lot of people, dismiss the drummer, but the drummer is fundamentally more important than a lot of other things, even though a lot of times it's a lot of similar, there's not too much. A lot of it is fills. Fills are usually the most important thing, and you got drum solos and stuff like that. But, you can make a good-ass beat, But anyway, George Harrison, as I said, is probably the most different. Paul McCartney, he was probably, I would say, out of all of them, he seemed to be probably the most, I'm not going to say, obviously, they all had their good and bad days or something. He just seemed to kind of be able to hold art and business together. I feel like, this is just, I don't know these fucking people, but George Harrison, like, kind of like, he was more of an artist, but he definitely wanted to be on the bit. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. I don't even know these fucking people. But I will say, if I'm going to continue this stupid opinion of mine, like John Lennon, for example, he's kind of like this combination of both George Harrison and Paul McCartney, but he kind of, rejected the business, like, he chooses an underdog, underrated artist like a Yoko Ono, for example. It just really showed you, whether they actually intentionally were just like in the now and knowing exactly this is what I'm going to do, these are the steps, or it's like a subconscious thing or whatever. I just, I don't know. You could just, and once again, the music, and if it took me, up until the age of 29 to truly listen to even any of Yoko Ono's stuff, because I always just listened to what other people said, just like, oh, she's just like fucking whatever the fuck. So it's just, I don't know, man. People have people say a lot of shit, and so do I. A lot of people are full of shit, and so am I. So, you can't really throw an opinion, because it's fucking, it's imaginary. It's not made of fucking anything. So, one thing I definitely gotta, I personally deal with a lot of, problems with is just like outside opinion, and I take it way too close to heart. But anyway, off tangent. Trying to keep it to the Beatles, not me. Garage rock. Then apparently they got inspired by Bob Dylan. Smoked some grass or some cannabis or weed, ganja, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Mary Jane, whatever the marijuana, whatever you want to call it, or not want to call it because it's whatever. I don't know, whatever the fuck. You got Rubber Soul, which honestly, there's some of these songs, man, are very fucking like scary, honestly. So, but at the same time, though, I think that's even a day in the life, like these guys were not willing, they were willing to go, out of the box. They were willing to go far in a way, you got even the White Album. I mean, all this shit has been said before, I don't want to keep this going too long. I really don't. Because it's just, why do I appreciate these motherfuckers? Why do people appreciate? My favorite part of the Beatles was when they literally, apparently, I don't know if it's true. It probably is, I imagine. But like, the fans were they're so loud. They were louder than, or I could have said that better. They were louder than the instrument. You couldn't even hear the Beatles, or they couldn't even hear each other. Like, that was how loud the stadiums got, which is fucking crazy. It's fucking ridiculous. Once again, these guys are just human beings. Don't get me wrong. They make some fucking good-ass music. I have plenty of songs I could choose from, but I'm just fucking saying, man. Holy shit. But, what do I know? I'm not in that position. Maybe, maybe I'm jaded or whatever. I really don't think I'm being jaded. I just think it's just like, it's a little humiliating for I don't know, man. I don't know, but what do I fucking know, man? Put me in the right fucking room with the right person. I'm sure we all fucking melt or whatever, or faint or fucking freak out or whatever. Personally, I'm sure I've seen celebrities in person, but like, I don't know, for some reason, I just don't really, I don't like, I guess, scan the fucking crowd or whatever. But anyway, favorite time is when, they're not, they can't even perform. So they decide, let's just fucking record. And, that's when they really fucking started experimenting and really kind of stepping out the fucking box, as I, already said. But, this is the most different, and it gets to a point where I think it's like we can't even perform this live or whatever. So it probably made them go, what the fuck are we doing? So they kind of went back to. But that's the other thing too. Like, they also were able to go back. Like, they never forgot their origins. Who knows? I can't fucking say. Who knows how it is now or whatever the fuck. But Paul McCartney, he's still fucking doing his thing. Ringo's still doing his thing. It's fucking cool. But also, just like, JFK getting shot and stuff like that, it's just very unfortunate that we have people that feel like, fucking, John Lennon just walking down the street. Can't do that anymore. Celebrities can't do that much more anymore. Some of them can. Some people can get away. It's just it's so interesting that some people can get away with that and some people fucking can't. And with John Lennon, it's apparently, now the guy, I don't want to even say his name. I don't know I don't remember. I think I know his name, but I'm not going to say it because who gives a shit? He's a fucking asshole. But apparently, this is, rumor and shit like that. Just like, he just wanted to be infamous any way he could. It didn't matter exactly who it was. And I guess like something that John Lennon said, I know exactly what he said, but it doesn't matter what he said. He said it and it ticked him off enough. And also like, it just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't make fucking sense. But isn't that fucking disorder or psychosis or whatever the fuck? And was that guy even fucking psychotic? Who knows, man? Maybe, do you have to be psychotic or mentally ill to kill somebody? I don't think so. It's really fucked up. I don't mean to change up. Once again, this is why I don't want to do this anymore. Because I'm just like, I have no filter. I can't like not talk about like elephants in the room. Like, I don't know why. And apparently I think George Harrison was like stabbed multiple times in his own fucking house by a fan. He was I think he survived, but he died of cancer, I believe. Which, fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. It fucking genuinely, of course it fucking sucks, man. We all die, and, you just always hope that it's gonna die, it's gonna be peaceful, not fucking agonizing. But, is that fucking, life is, it's not black and white, it's fucking gray, man. That's for sure. I personally, like, in some way, there's a bit of me that just says, you should probably start this over and not talk about fucking death and shit like that. But I'm just gonna keep trucking, I guess. And I haven't stopped yet. That's good. But once again, going off tangent. Let's try to keep it fucking back on tangent. I don't know if there's really much else for me to say. I mean, I feel like I said everything, and that I feel like I need to say about the Beatles. I mean, like, once again, why does my opinion matter? What the fuck? Why am I even doing this? Like, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking not put this up. I swear to God, I'm gonna put this online and I'm gonna take it right the fuck down. Because who gives a shit? Who gives a flying fuck? Who gives a fuck? Once again, this shit has been said a million fucking times, and I'm sure being negative is not going to help this situation, but let's just be fucking real here, man. There's a reason. One reason why I stopped doing this podcast stuff is just because I feel like instead of fucking making this fucking microphone my therapist, maybe I should just get a fucking real one. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to emulate my fucking idols and heroes and shit like that, but like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what the fuck? I mean, a lot of times, I'm hoping that in some ways, I can just like start conversation, but whatever the fuck. I mean, like, it's not, once again, this conversation has been had. This conversation has been fucking had. Like, why? I'm just gonna, Strawberry Fields Forever. That's a really good fucking song. It's one of my favorite songs. I really love Octopus's Garden. That's a really good fucking song. It's all memory. I'm just trying to fucking, I Will Wait. Fuck, man. Get Back. I can't really listen to Helter Skelter because just obviously everything that happened. It's fucked, man. It's a good song, but I just. I mean, once again, like, I'm trying to think of, like, obviously Taxman's pretty good. I'm just trying to think of, like, I think it's Within Without You, Tomorrow Never Knows, Love You Too. I'm trying to think if there's any other George Harrison songs I could think of. I'm sure there's a couple more. I mean, I can't, and once again, the other thing is I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because once again, I can definitely tell more, not always, but I can definitely tell when you not just me, I'm sure anyone can kind of tell when it's a George Harrison song. I mean, when I first started listening, I couldn't tell whose voice was whose. So, and even right now, I don't know who wrote which song or whatever. Just it's Beatles as a whole or whatever. But just trying to think what else. I mean. Once again, like Strawberry, I mean, like a lot of these songs, just a lot of these songs aren't experimental too. Like I'd have to look at the lyrics too. I guess that's one thing I have a fucking big deal with is not fucking looking at the lyrics. But once you start looking at some lyrics, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck, man? Why did I Run for Your Life? And then I think Girl, I think it is. I mean, some of these songs are fucking like brutal, man. What the fuck? I'm just trying to think. I mean, what the fuck else? I mean, Don't Let Me Down. That's a good song, but in some other ways, it's not. I mean, like, I wouldn't necessarily listen. I mean, there's context every time. There's a time and a place and everything for everything. But like, it's just like there's times where I'll listen to a song and not realize once again, like, I shouldn't be listening to this with my friends right now. But it's a good song. Don't Let Me Down. It's just a good song. It sounds good. It doesn't necessarily have any, like, sometimes you just listen to a song, you don't even, like, it's like, I'm going to fucking name drop, I guess, but, like, for example, The Cure, I mean, another band that kind of, in some ways, did experiment with, they kind of, like, they evolved in different ways, but, Sinking, for example, I really love that song, but I know it's a very depressing song. I don't know. I don't really think there's anything else I can say right now. So I'm just probably gonna end this unless I can, because it's just why name off a bunch of other songs? Who gives a shit? It's like, oh, that's your favorite songs. Oh, these are my favorite songs. Oh, who gives a shit? Go listen to them, motherfucker, or think about it. I don't know.